Alright, this next section for 10 through 15, we're working with operations on complex numbers. Again, complex number is in the form of a plus bi, where a is the real term and bi is the imaginary term. When we add complex numbers together, we add the real parts together, and then we add the imaginary parts together. So 3 plus 6, that's 9. 4i minus 2i, or 4i plus negative 2i, is 2i. And that gives us the final solution. Same thing when we subtract complex numbers together. Negative 2 minus 3, that's negative 5. 7 minus negative 5i, or 7i minus negative 5i, that becomes positive 12i. That's the final solution. When we multiply complex numbers together, we treat them as if they were factors and distribute to every term, known as the shortcut of FOILing. We do negative 2 times 3, negative 2 times negative 4i, I times 3, and I times negative 4i. So we end up with negative 6. Negative 6 plus 8i plus 3i minus 4i squared, which is negative 6 plus 11i minus 4i squared. But that's not in the form of a plus bi because we have an I squared. And as we stated in an earlier video, I squared is negative 1. So essentially, this last term is negative 4 times negative 1, which is 4. So we have negative 6 plus 11i plus 4, which gives us a final solution of negative 2 plus 11i. Number 13, before we subtract out the complex numbers, we want to expand out the second term. Because it has an exponent and using order of operations, we know to expand out exponents before we subtract. So that's negative 7 plus 3i times negative 7 plus 3i, which is 49 minus 21i minus 21i plus 9i squared. So that's 49 minus 42i minus 9. So 40 minus 42i. Now I'm not completely done with this problem because all I've done was expanded out this second term. And I use that now for the subtraction, where I have 12 minus 5i minus the quantity of 40 minus 42i. So we do 12 minus 40, which is negative 28, and negative 5i minus negative 42i, which becomes positive 37i. For number 3, all we're doing is expanding out 3 minus I squared, which is 3 minus I times 3 minus I, which is 9 minus 3I minus 3I plus I squared, which is 9 minus 6I minus 1, which gives us a final solution of 8 minus 6I. For number 15, we're adding complex numbers together. There's no additional work. So you do negative 13 plus 6, which is negative 7, and negative 7 plus 14i, negative 7i plus 14i, which is 7i. And that's the final solution for this